What's good? What's good? What's good, everyone? This is DJ's Raw and Cut Truth, giving you the raw content that you deservedly need. And here's why I believe Coach Prime, Deion Sanders, will stay in Jackson State for a couple years. There's a lot of content creators who had opinions on this. Here's the common sense approach. Number one, the only reason why Coach Prime's name has even came up for TCU is if you're from Texas, born and raised like I'm from, or you know about Texas sports, you know LT LaDainian Tomlinson is a big name for TCU. A big name for TCU. So he put Deion Sanders' name in the search. That is a fact. Jeff Traylor from UTSA, his name is on there. The coach from Coastal Carolina is on there. The coach for Louisiana, his name is there. Coach Elliott, the offensive coordinator of Clemson, his name is on there. And many others. Kellen Moore, his name is there. Hit the like button if you just came in. So I don't see that happening. The only way I see Coach Prime leaving, it's not even now. It'd probably be like 4 years. When his sons are graduated from Jackson State, I could see him leave then. But that's still a 50-50. That may not happen because Coach Prime, he has a ruling class mentality, which is good for any brother. Shout out to Macrina Daniel. He wants to control his own stuff, which is he has the right to do it, and every coach should have that. Every coach should have that mindset to control their own things, to have their own power within the program. And he has that not only in the SWAC, but JSU. Because I'm going to tell you what it is on these Power 5 schools and campuses. Once you're there, you always have to attend to what the boosters want. If the boosters dislike something, they let it be known. You ask for a new field, you got to oblige to the boosters. When a booster does not like a certain player on the roster, hey, that player is out. This is the game within the game. Coach Prime doesn't have to deal with that at Jackson State because he's amongst his people. He's comfortable. He has an AD, Ashley Robinson, who's doing a fantastic job, who has always been there for Coach Prime. Everything Coach Prime needed, Ashley Robinson was there. He wanted a practice field. He talked to Ashley Robinson. Coach Prime also has connections. They worked it out. It's all teamwork. I think people are missing the teamwork aspect of Coach Prime and the AD, Ashley Robinson. They go hand in hand. This is the real. A lot of folks, some who root for the SWAC, some who don't, they just want Coach Prime to leave the program. And it's mainly due to jealousy. They're getting all the publicity, the fanfare, the notoriety. They're getting the love from national media. And since their teams are not doing it, they feel like it's ruining their team. They feel like it's ruining the SWAC. But what it is enhancing the SWAC. Recruiting. You can look at each team's recruiting classes has improved throughout all SWAC teams. That is a fact. It may not be on Jackson State's level, but it's a whole lot of hell better than what it was a year or two ago. It's not even close. When Coach Prime decided to be the head coach of Jackson State, he pointed out in his press conference, I don't know if you all remember, during the 2020 summer, I had an incident with Aubrey Miller, and George Floyd and many others that happened. And in seeing that we got to create our own within our own. Coach Prime didn't have to be a head coach. But like he said, it was his calling. It was his calling to be a head coach. It was his calling to get these brothers into the NFL. Before Coach Prime was a head coach, he was trying to do an HBCU combine. He was trying to do an HBCU combine, seeing that they are not getting properly looked at. Midnight Groove says the importance of this call is to make JSU aware that Coach Prime is a wanted man. Now, what the JSU has to do is simple. Give this man what he needs to be successful. I believe JSU will be good. Facts. That's all they have to do. And it keeps JSU's name in the media waves. That's all that is. So no need to worry. I'm not worried. Fellow JSU subs of mine, they hit me up all the time. They're not worried. They know that this TCU job, this is just media talk, and that LaDainian Tomlinson put Coach Prime's name in the search, which you're supposed to do as any school. You can't really blame that. It's good to be wanted. So all the people that said Coach Prime's not a good coach and he's overrated, the Power 5 schools seem to want him. And that's a good problem to have. But JSU has a good thing going for them. Because let's say Coach Prime leaves his fourth year. By that time, Jackson State, which I believe will have a couple players drafted, and recruits will be like, I know Coach Prime has left, but he left JSU in good hands. Their facilities have upgraded. They put this player in the NFL. Recruits will see this. I'm going to compare it to Boise State. Remember when Chris Peterson left? Brian Harsin took over? And a lot of people in the Mountain West said that Boise State would never be the same. You look at the records, even though Boise State was never close to that team in 2010, they've constantly won a lot of Mountain West Conference titles, as well as played for BCS New Year's Six Bowls. This is the only year this year that Boise State is not at the level they used to be because Brian Harsin is coaching at Auburn. Kimberly Davis says, I knew this is fake because TCU is trying to get the Dallas Cowboys assistant coach Kelly Moore. Yeah, that is fact. They're really trying to get Kelly Moore. He's the top of the list. Jeff Traylor for UTSA. Jeff Traylor has signed a deal 10 years for $28 million. But they can still buy that out, but that's a lot of money. So JSU, no problems at all. Coach Prime is going to be there for a couple years. Trust me, I know that's going to happen. I'd be surprised if he's coaching at another school. Very surprised. And Coach Prime told JSU fans, the SWAC, and everybody in the SWAC media day that he didn't have to do this. This was his calling. He kept saying it throughout the whole interview. I think he means what he said. I think he's a man of his word. And one thing we know about Coach Prime, he keeps it real. We do know that for a fact. But I'm excited for JSU. JSU fans, you should be happy for your team. You should be happy that you have a competitor. You should be happy that Coach Prime is trying to upgrade everything at that school because he's doing it for the kids. This is a wonderful time. This is a renaissance in the SWAC. So I know you look at content creators and they want to put fear into your school, but don't be alarmed. This thing happens. You know what? Next year, When Coach Prime is still coaching this team, another school in the Power 5 will be asking for Coach Prime. And then the year after that, another FBS school will be asking for Coach Prime while he's still coaching at Jackson State. Shout out to the CFL podcast. Brother, that video you made today, that video was the truth, man. That video was the truth. But no need to alarm. This is what happens when you have a great coach who is changing the game. JSU fans, you should be honored by this. FBS team said they want your coach. Your coach. They want your coach. That's what it's all about. And guess what? Jackson State, again, is in the media. They're in the news clippings. This is what it comes with when you're winning. When you're winning, these things happen. See, when JSU was losing, nobody was saying, oh, we wanted JSU's coach. Now they're winning. They want your head coaches. They want your defensive coordinator, assistant coaches. They're calling every day. You should want that because it shows that your school is on a level that you all dreamed for. Shout out to Pierre. He said, salute, DJ. CFL podcast says facts. It's nothing but a compliment. He ain't going anywhere. Talk to him. This is why I like watching the CFL podcast. He does his research. He's not all about the hysterical reactions to rile everybody up. The truth is, and I said it earlier in this video, LT, who was a good friend of Coach Prime, all he did in the booster meeting and in the hiring process at TCU, all he did was say, hey, let's hire Coach Prime. That's all he did. No problem with that. You're supposed to do that. Between the Game Sports, make sure you subscribe to his channel as well. He said he will be there for a foreseeable future. Facts. Because when you coach at a FBS, Big 12, SEC, Big 10, Pac-12, these type of schools, you don't have the power like you think you have as a head coach, especially as a brother. Did you know that out of all FBS teams in Texas, there's not one black coach? There's not one black head coach. That tells you something. So you think that Coach Prime, if he's going to TCU, he's gonna be able to do what he wants? No. Yeah, y'all must not know how Texas is. I grew up in Texas all my life. I've seen the politics. I've seen UIL. And besides, why would Coach Prime go back to Texas when Texas screwed him over when he had Prime Prep? Go look up Prime Prep and what UIL did to Coach Prime's school. And it will give you an indication why he would not join any FBS team in Texas or a TCU or anything. Between the Game Sports says straight ran by boosters and alums. Facts. You don't have any power coaching at the FBS. Correction, FBS. You could say Nick Saban, but Nick Saban had to win so many titles, and Nick Saban only has 75% power at Alabama. Because Alabama has a humongous booster club with a lot of money. And if there's a player they didn't like on that Alabama roster, they'll let Coach Saban know. Don't get it twisted. Shout out to Mark Kears. He said Florida State. Yep. I'm sure they wanted him. Between the Game Sports said spoke on this on my video earlier. I think it's a ploy to try to take away the wave of 4- and 5-star players heading to HBCUs. You cut off the head and the body will fall. Facts. Facts, bro. Y'all better subscribe to Between the Game Sports, man. Brother got an underrated channel. Y'all got to see the game within the game, my brothers and sisters. And not be fooled by the trinkets and display that they're trying to have with your university. The CFL podcast says the fact that he only has 75% of power after all those championships is wild to me. It is wild. Now, The super fans of Alabama will cap and say he has 100% power, but he actually does not. He only got 75% power. You're not going to have 100% power as a head coach in the FBS. Coach Saban has won so many championships. You think he'll be the Don of Alabama. But to the regular folks, he is. But to the people who got that bank, or the high millionaires and billionaires who are alums of Alabama, he ain't got more power than them. He ain't got more power than them. And this is why Coach Prime should be staying. And I don't have to say he should be staying because I know he's going to be staying at Jackson State for a while. His daughter, I've heard reports, and correct me if I'm wrong, brothers and sisters, that his daughter is thinking about joining Jackson State. She's a junior. She plays basketball. Jackson State's women's team is a winner, very popular in HBCUs and a SWAC. So why would he leave when his daughter has interest from Jackson State and to keep the whole family there? Oh, she has. The CFL podcast said that she already committed. Thank you for telling me, brother. Yes, she's already committed to Jackson State. Why would he leave when his daughter's committed to Jackson State? When he can have his sons and his daughter at the school while he's coaching there? Y'all underestimate the fact that Coach Prime is a family man. And he has a lot of money. I mean, he doesn't even have to do anything else and he's retired good. Demetria Adams says she's a senior. Okay, thank you for notifying me, my sister. The Midnight Grove says, you damn sure can pay $30 to go inside. It's up to the community to keep them there. Also, Jackson has the highest number of blacks in the country. Pack the stadium, protect your house. Yeah, put the money up. Put the money up, man. Support your schools so these vultures don't get your head coach or any coaches on the coaching staff. But this has been a great discussion. I just wanted y'all to calm down. Coach Prime going to be staying. And looking forward to the game against Texas Southern, man. Should be a good game. Texas Southern got an explosive offense. Shout out to Andrew Body and company. And Shadir Sanders, man, keep doing your thing, brother. And I'm out.